Welcome back to the Thornaby Pavilion. Now the international heavyweight clash between Pierre Coetzer from South Africa, ranked 5 in the world, and Ken Lakusta from Canada. Let's first have a look at the man from Pretoria.
Well, every fight that I fight is a very, very important fight to me. I mean, winning the fight is a step closer to the world title, and that's what we're actually looking for, to get a shot at the world title. So this fight is very, very important to me. Lakusta. He's a very experienced fighter, and I think at this stage of my career it's a good guy to fight now in Ken Lakusta, because he knows all the things in the ring, and I think this is a very, very good fight to me. But I always like England, and I think it's going to be great to fight here.
There's Pierre Coetzer just moments before he gets into the ring against Ken Lakusta, and pretty apprehensive he looks, pretty concentrated, terrific record, and he's got fearsome punching power.
Tremendous punching power there he showed in that last fight. He's only 29 years of age, 36 fights, 24 KOs, a very powerful, dangerous man, as he showed in that punching.
Okay, let's have a look now at his opponent, Ken Lakusta from Canada.
I just know that he's a rated fighter, and he's fought a couple of people that I worked with, and I've heard some talk about him in the U.S. and in Canada that he's a pretty good fighter, and I've really come prepared to take on the task. Pierre Coetzer has no easy fight Saturday, and I certainly don't have one either, so I think if I get out and do my things that I do well, possibly things might go my way. I fought George Foreman in July of this year, or of last year, and I figured that if I can go past 5 rounds, that I really had a chance. And we made him miss a lot in the first 3 rounds, and he caught me with a real big left hook in the 3rd round. And you know, I had opened up a cut under his eye in the 2nd round, and I caught him with some good shots. But I really have to give him a lot of credit, because he's not the youngest guy in the world, but he's a real hard puncher, and he pushes you around a lot in there, so it makes it tough for anybody that boxes him. I feel that me and Pierre Coetzer being around the same size really is going to be a lot to my advantage. I feel that I can just maybe turn this thing around in round 7 and up. And I'm looking for a real tough fight, and I didn't come here for any other reason. I come here to do real well, and the people back home in Canada are expecting me to do real well, and I've been backed by everybody back there, and I really want to do well.
Ken Lakusta talks a good fight. Has he got a chance to?
Well, yeah, in the early rounds, any heavyweight's got a chance if he throws a big enough punch. So he's got to do it in the early rounds. He has 15 losses in 36 fights. I can't see him winning unless he's going to knock the guy out with a lucky punch in the first 2 rounds.
Okay, let's see how he fares. Let's go ringside now and join our commentators. For Holland, Fred Royers. Hello, Fred. For Germany, Hans-Joachim Rauschenbach. And for everyone else, Ian Dark, and of course, Henry Cooper.
Once again, another great evening of boxing from the Embed Supersport team of Robbie Welsh and Barry Lambert. Back with the Embed team after nearly 3 years. Barry, welcome back.
Thank you very much indeed, Robbie. Nice to be back here. Nice to be in the north of England, where it's exceptionally cold, I might add, and about -3 degrees. But it looks like a very hot night boxing, no doubt about that. Our ring announcer tonight is Billy Keatley. Let him tell you the details.
Gentlemen, please. Ladies and gentlemen, John Spenceley and Cedric Kushner proudly present a 10-round international heavyweight contest, a duration of 3 minutes in each round. And introducing to you, on my left, boxing from the blue corner, is the former Canadian heavyweight champion. Will you welcome here on Teesside, Ken Lakusta. And now on my right, boxing from the red corner, he's from Pretoria, South Africa, the South African heavyweight champion, rated 5th in the world. A Teesside welcome for Pierre Coetzer. Gentlemen, please. At the weigh-in at 1 o'clock today, Lakusta scaled 15 stone 2 pounds. Coetzer scaled 15 stone 6 pounds. Your referee for the contests is Mr. Arnold Bryson. Your officials appointed by the British Boxing Control are as previous contests. Thank you.
Here we go then. Pierre Coetzer coming in to face over 10 rounds Ken Lakusta of Canada. Important bout this year, Barry, for Pierre Coetzer. Ken Lakusta, an experienced opponent, been in against the best, a good journeyman fighter, a good puncher. Pierre Coetzer here is going to face probably the first 2 or 3 rounds a torrid time.
Indeed it is. I think Pierre's just got to make sure that he keeps that left of his up and just jabs away. And as you said earlier, that Lakusta had a great opening bout against George Foreman. In fact, he clipped George Foreman very, very early on in that fight. So he has got a big punch, Robin.
Now, not so long ago that, Barry, but here we see Pierre Coetzer the last 6 months seems to come out smoking in every fight. We used to see Pierre Coetzer lying back for 3 or 4 rounds. Of the last 3 or 4 fights, he's taken up the habit of coming forward fairly quickly at the beginning. He wants to get on with business, like he did against Camille Odom. Is Pierre Coetzer going to knock this man down in the first round?
Well, he's got a good left in there already, and that is a good punch. And it's had Lakusta going back on the ropes there, as you can see. But he's certainly a very strong man, Lakusta, no doubt about that. So Pierre's going to have his work cut out. He's going to a very good journeyman in front of him, and he needs now to probably get rid of him pretty quickly to keep the impression going on the WBA and the IBF, where he's ranked number 5 currently.
Well, Ken Lakusta's been in against some of the greatest fighters of recent times: Trevor Berbick, Frank Bruno, Michael Dose, Razor Ruddock, George Foreman. He hasn't beaten any of them, but he's been in there. He's given George Foreman a good crack, and by golly, I'm sure he wants to do Canada's hopes tonight, as he said, a good turn and give Pierre Coetzer a good crack. Here we are then, Pierre Coetzer with Ken Lakusta in the corner. Coetzer just stepping back, letting Lakusta out of the jam there for a second. Coetzer coming forward again with that left jab, putting the right in again.
Yeah, he's got to keep that left going, and Pierre knows what he's in there to do. Alan Telly was talking to him when I arrived at the hotel this afternoon, just briefly after the weigh-in, and he was telling me that he's very confident tonight. He just needs a nice, easy fight for Pierre, is what he said. But of course, he does expect to have some sort of opposition from Ken Lakusta. And as you say, been in with all the great fighters. Hasn't won any of those, I might add, but he's been in there with them. And Pierre Coetzer, as you can see, already got Lakusta back into... he's got already selected reverse, I think, this evening, Lakusta.
One minus point pass for Pierre Coetzer. The last couple of fights, he's had some rather horrible cuts around the eyes. And I can see he's already got plenty of muti on those eyes, Barry, plenty of Vaseline, and some of Alan Towell's special powder, which he won't talk about. So it's obviously a worrying point for the Coetzer camp, but Pierre says they're cuts, but they don't do much damage.
Yes, and I must admit that I think that Pierre's just got to shorten the distance just a fraction, but there's some good lefts going in there, great jabs.
I just hope after this round that left doesn't fade like it did against Camille Odom. Pierre said he lost his rhythm for 6 or 7 rounds in the last 5, but here he goes. Ken Lakusta coming back. Coetzer got a cut there on his
just under the right
side.
eye. Yes, just under the right eye, Coetzer. It's not... it won't be a problem to him, of course, underneath the eye. But once again, as you were saying just a few seconds ago, the cuts are indeed opening up, and that is a bit of a bag dash, I might add, well, looking at it at the moment. So that's not a good thing at all, and he doesn't want to go back. I wouldn't have thought he wanted to go back into the corner with that sort of thing on his mind at this moment, Robin.
Let's have a look over there in the Coetzer corner. Alan Towell getting the liquid out to try and staunch that bleeding. It's not very serious, Barry, I don't think, at this stage. Rather superficial.
Alan Towell, of course, a great cut man. There's no doubt about it. Probably one of the best cut men in the business. So he knows his way around, and I would think he'll close that up pretty quickly, I think. But as you see,
there it is. It's already pinched and not much coming out of it. And how you
Nasty
rated
on.
that round there, Barry? I think probably a Coetzer round, probably the snappier punches, but Lakusta's still got plenty in him. It's not over by a long shot.
Yes,
Probably on our unofficial card, Barry, a Coetzer round.
Yes, indeed, just shading, but I think that might have worried him a little bit, that little nick, and I'm sure it will have done. Very mod-looking man, Lakusta. That long hair is his
Here we go
style.
then. Round 2 then. Ken Lakusta against Pierre Coetzer of South Africa. Scheduled for 10 heavyweight contest here from Thornaby in northeast England. Pierre Coetzer coming out.
So Coetzer still going forward. That's a good sign, which means he's still got the confidence to go forward. But he now seems to have opened himself up a little bit. Seems to be coming a little bit more square on now, and that's not always a good sign. So they get coming in from behind that jab.
Coetzer most effective in the first part of the first round, leading forward and dropping one down into the breadbasket there of Lakusta.
So have a look and see that eye. Just keep an eye on it, just to make sure that it doesn't open up too bad. There's some good body
Lakusta
punches.
himself then.
Oh, great right.
Getting a couple of punches and getting tagged. Some great rights there from Pierre Coetzer.
And in fact, Lakusta just backing up in the corner there. He is hurt. There's no doubt about that at all. Taking big,
He's
deep
wobbling.
breaths.
So great shots there from Pierre Coetzer. Lakusta managed to slip out of most of them, but some of those got through Barry, some of those caught him. And Lakusta comes back himself, pops one into the face there of Pierre Coetzer.
The eye now is definitely opened up again, and it's now starting to trickle down the cheek again.
Always amazes me, Barry, Pierre Coetzer outside the ring is a very mild-mannered man, but in the ring he becomes very strong and wild. His punches are a lot of force. Lakusta doubling up there.
That's a great punch, no doubt about that at all. That really did double up the Canadian, and it had him in trouble. Very happy to hang on there just for a moment or two.
Referee Bridson just splits him up there. Coetzer coming forward once again. Ken Lakusta backing up into the corner. Pierre Coetzer coming
great
forward.
combinations. That is a tremendous left and a cross right. He's going to go here. He's
Ken
going to go.
Lakusta wobbling all over the ring.
Oh, it's a great punch, and a good left, and a good right, and that is it, all over and done with. Referee Arnold Bryson stops it in the second round. I thought he stopped it, actually.
Lakusta's not stopped it, Barry.
I'm shocked to see that. Oh, no, he must stop it. He's dead on his feet, isn't he? Oh, that had me worried there for a minute. The referee, I thought, was going to let it go on, Robin, and if he'd have done that, I'd have been very worried.
We know the rules in this contest, Barry, were. The referee was the sole discretion of what was going to happen. He could have let the fighter go on. Lakusta there, quite nastily hurt.
Well, absolutely right. Now, I think that would have been absolutely devastating for the boxer if he'd have let him go. I mean, he really wobbled around there for a good 20, 30 seconds before he eventually went down. And when he did go down, I thought the referee was just going to stay there and count him. And, oh, my word, I was quite shocked there for a moment.
I think the referee was in two minds to start with, Barry. He thought he wasn't that hurt, then he saw him stagger up, decided to stop him.
So Pierre Coetzer very delighted with that, and this is how it all happened. Look at this cross left. He comes across an uppercut, but he actually misses with that. This is the one he gets him with. He seems to get annoyed with that left. There it is, a cross left and the right, and that is devastating.
Great combination, Barry. And a right again. Hold him up, and the left again.
I think Lakusta's done well to stand up at this moment, to be honest with you.
Well, his brains
His
are wobbling all over the place there, Barry.
That's the one. Right above us, that. And the referee should have been a lot quicker, I thought, coming in.
Hard, easy for us to criticize the referee there, Barry, but in the end he did dive in pretty smartly. I think he was taken aback by the force of Coetzer's punches there. Some devastating combinations. Probably about a dozen punches, I think, Barry, in about 15 seconds.
Yeah, you can see the face of Alan Towhill in the background there. And referee, Mr. Bryson, jumping in front. I thought he was going to stop it right that moment. So really very, very good indeed. And well done to Pierre Coetzer. That's done his career path. I think a lot of help, I'm sure, don't you? Ring announcer, Mr. Bill Keatley, will bring us up to date, as if we don't know already that Pierre Coetzer's won this one.
Gentlemen, please. Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute 50 seconds of the second round, as Ken Lakusta was unable to defend himself, your winner from Pretoria, South Africa, Pierre Coetzer.
Well, Pierre Coetzer, great win for him.
Your appreciation, he tried very, very hard. He's come an awful long way. Ken Lakusta, ladies and gentlemen. Your appreciation, a very, very brave man.
So a great win then for Pierre Coetzer, no doubt about that. And Paul Dempsey is the man up in the ring with Pierre Coetzer right this moment. He's the man from Eurosport. Going to talk to Pierre.
Many congratulations, your first time in Britain. Now, we saw a nasty little cut open over your left eye, or under your left eye. Was that a cause of concern for you?
Yeah, well, he caught him with a very good left hook in the first round. That's what cut my eye there.
Were you worried at all?
No, not at all. No, it wasn't really, I felt the blood coming down, but I know it was underneath my eye. No, there was no worries.
I have to tell you, you are an unknown quantity with due respect in Britain, but at 29 years of age, people have been saying in the build-up to this fight that this is a man who could get into the world class. At 29, are your best years still to come?
Yes, oh yes, definitely. I think so. I think the next 2-3 years will be my best years.
Holyfield's almost 30. Evander Holyfield indeed is almost 30. Now, coming into the world class as you hope to do from South Africa, you haven't had much experience against top-line European or American fighters for obvious reasons. South Africa's been kept very quiet, but things are changing fast now, so you hope clearly to get more experience against the top men from Europe and the USA.
Well, I've fought very, very good and very experienced fighters from the United States already in my career, so I don't think that is really the issue. And I think from here, my manager trainer Alan Tabu, he will guide me now to the right fights towards the world title fight.
Have you spent your years through the 20s travelling the world in the way that, say, another good South African fighter, Brian Mitchell, has done?
Oh yes, my last couple of years, my last 2-3 years, I've been all over the world and I got a lot of experience against overseas fighters.
A former cop back in South Africa. Is this full-time life for you now as a boxer?
Yeah, well, the years that I was in the police was just, I was a PT instructor. I was actually carried as a PTI, and I went to the police college just to train the guys there. Wasn't really a policeman.
Okay, so no chance of a citizen's arrest. Thanks very much, Pierre. I hope you do come back to these shores again soon. Enjoy the rest of your stay in Britain. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, I don't know about you, I thought that was mightily impressive, and for me, he's the best white man in the world, although that's not saying an awful lot at the moment. How impressed were you, John?
Yeah, really impressed. His tremendous, his power of punches, the way he picked it, and particularly coming up from a bad cut. He knew he couldn't, you know, hang around there. It could have got worse. He went out and done the job. He was hanging around a bit in the first round, and the cut spared him on. But he finished it brilliant.
He didn't hang around much in the second. Let's have a look and see how it finished here. Accurate and powerful, I thought.
Yeah, picking these punches, very powerful, very strong, very fit. Great conditioned fighter, just picking these punches. He's looking for the knockout every punch.
Now,
beautiful
the commentators, both Henry and Ian, thought that the referee might have come in a bit quicker. What do you think?
Well, yeah, she could have done. He could have let it go on a bit longer, really. You know, all depends how the other fella, if he really fancied it, he could have let it go on longer. But it's difficult to come in, isn't it? If you got a big fella like that throwing punches, I wouldn't get in there.
They're pretty clinical punches going in there. That's the moment it was finished. But I was impressed not just by the power of them, but the accuracy as well.
Yeah, that's a different class fighter. I mean, Ken's had 15 losses in his career, you know. He's been banged around a bit, and these fellas only had, what, 2 losses in his out of a 36-fight career, 25 KOs, powerful, conditioned, young, 29, prime, strong, good fighter. Certainly got all the potential in the world to win the world title, especially with that power. So he's a big heavyweight who can punch.
Do you think he can? I mean, obviously, it's a good time now for heavyweights. It seems that there's 1 or 2, obviously right at the top of the tree. Holyfield there, Tyson. Can he compete with those?
Of course he can. Heavyweights, especially of that caliber. He's got the instinct, he's got the killer instinct. He's a natural fighter. He's a conditioned, methodical, serious fighter, dedicated. You could see the way he's in such great shape, and picks his punches. Very clinical, gets him on the hook, doesn't waste nothing, you know. And when he got cut, he didn't want to hang around at all. He knew he had to finish it, and he picked these punches in the second round and just got rid of the opponent, which really